Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're doing a Let's Play and full live review, really, for Realms of Flow VR. A game that was released on the Steam store, I believe, June 29th, 2023, by developer Mark Zimmerman, who also made some other meditation apps similar to this one. The first one being Conscious Existence, and the other follow-up being Deep States, which was released in early access. And the reason I bring that up is because obviously some of you may know this, but Deep States was temporarily paused, you can say abandoned, in early access. And what the developer did is put a note explaining what happened. I strongly suggest, before you make any comments, to read what the developer said. But basically the developer said that he just due to circumstances, he was just unable to finish the project. He does mention his lack of expertise in being able to make the game that he wanted Deep States to be. So instead, he redirected his focus on this new game. And Realms of Flow is really a kind of like a mix of Conscious Existence and Deep State. So if you combine them together, you'd probably come up with this. And the thing I can say about Mark Zimmerman is I have every reason not to like this developer. For those of you who follow my channel, you might know this, but I actually got a copyright strike from this developer from doing a video playthrough for Conscious Existence. Now, to be fair to the developer, Conscious Existence is sort of like a cinematic experience. So I got a copyright strike. I didn't agree with it, but I understood it and I wasn't happy about it. But despite that, I have given a positive review for his two previous titles. Conscious Existence is a really good experience, and Deep States is one of my favorites. So Deep States is one of my favorite relaxation apps. I really liked it. I was really hoping it would come out of early access, because I'd like to experience the finished version of the game, but apparently that's not going to happen. Instead, we have this. And just so you guys know, I rate games on their own merit. So this game retails for $14.99. I received a free Steam key. However, the developer did mention that anyone who bought Deep States would get a key for this game. So I did buy Deep States, so I think I would have gotten this game regardless, so I didn't really get a free Steam key. I don't know what's going on with the developer as far as if everybody else got Steam keys. I assume they will if they haven't. But that is something the developer wrote, that anybody who bought Deep States in early access would get a key to this game. So you might want to contact the developer about that if you bought Deep States and haven't received a key for this one. But I would suggest, maybe if you want to support the developer, to buy it anyways. And the reason I say that is because this is a really good experience. Mark Zimmerman is a very talented developer. He's really at the forefront for relaxation apps, chill experiences in VR. There's a lot of relaxation apps in VR. What sets Mark Zimmerman apart from a whole lot of other developers, teams trying to make similar experiences is his artistic touch and the kinds of experiences he can make in VR, which are very unique. I love this one. I don't think it's my favorite. There's 6 different experiences, but I think this is really good. I don't know where I would place it as far as these 6 different experiences, but definitely I really like it. I enjoy it a lot. There is narration at the start. We're kind of past that point because I wanted to talk about the experience and I wanted to talk about the developer, so you guys know. Yes, I know that the developer abandoned Deep States, and that's normally bad, but like I said, if anyone has a reason to not like this developer and to trash this game, it would be me. Because obviously getting a copyright strike is very bad for your channel. It can kill off your channel. Luckily that didn't happen. I got 1 copyright strike, and I've actually gotten a second one from a bad review I did for a game. I basically wrote a bad review for a game, and they claimed copyright, and YouTube was totally wrong on their end. I think they messed up. Unfortunately, I had to, like, if you want to challenge it, you have to kind of dox yourself. You have to provide your name, address, and all that to the person, to the claimant. I didn't want to do that, so I had to live with a copyright strike. But I haven't had one in a long time now. I've been over a year, maybe even 2 years. So I think I'm in the clear zone at this current time. So that's always a danger of being a reviewer. If you make a video criticizing the game, you might be dealing with a copyright strike. Luckily, the last time a developer tried to do that for this gun range game, YouTube actually took my side. Finally, they finally realized I'm a legitimate reviewer doing reviews for games. I'm not trying to, I'm using these for fair use. I'm doing reviews, which are fair uses of gameplay video footage, and that's all I do. And I'm not like pirating movies and uploading them to YouTube. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is, if anyone has a reason to give this game a negative review due to personal reasons, it would be me. But I'm not doing that. In fact, I recommend all three of Mark Zimmerman's experiences: Conscious Existence, Deep States, which is one of my favorites. I would say I think I like Deep States more than this one, but this one's pretty good as well. So this would also be my top relaxation apps along with Deep States. Deep States is probably my favorite of all time, though. And like I said, Mark Zimmerman is an artist, a true artist for VR, and he makes amazing experiences for VR. And there's a lot going on here. You might not realize it, but you can use your controllers to control your breathing. This one is not as pronounced as some of the other ones. You can also change the distance. So if you want to make it really far, or by default, it's pretty close, and you can also give it extra depth or not. I think by default, both the distance and extra depths are at the low side, and I'm going to keep it that way. But you can change it. You can turn that off as well if you don't want the extra distraction. There's so many settings in this game. Those are the main ones, though. There's also, I strongly suggest going through the tutorial, but there's also eye gaze navigation. But I would definitely recommend going through the tutorial to understand everything. There's controller, where you can use the controller to control breathing. There's belly, and the way that one works is you put your controller on your belly, and just by the movements of your stomach, it'll change the breathing. That's pretty cool. And then there's auto. I'm going to leave it on auto for the rest of the way, though, versus using my controllers. I hope you guys don't mind that. You can also easily recenter. I'm using all the face buttons, AX, BA, AX, BY, and that's how you control a lot of the stuff. And then you use your directionals, your joystick, to control the depths, distance, and let's go ahead and let's look at the main menu. And by the way, these are all the settings. Now, I actually turned Humming Guide off. Let me turn it back on. So, one of the things that you might, and to be honest with you guys, the humming is something that I'm not sure exactly how it got turned on and off, but sometimes I can hear my humming back, and sometimes not. I don't know if you have to do something special to turn it on, but it doesn't always register. Mic check. Hello. Okay, I think we're good now. So now, hello. Yeah, I don't know. I had to turn it off for a while, though, because I was getting feedback and echoes, and I didn't want to do that for the review. But now that I wanted to do it, it's not doing it. So I'm not exactly sure why that happens. I don't know if it's a bug or if there's something that needs to happen within the experience. But I'm going to leave it on, and if I have to turn it off, I'll turn it off. But I'm going to leave it on. Let's go to another different experience. So we're going to go to the home. That's one of the 6 experiences available. Like I said, Realms of Flow, I do recommend it if you like Deep states, if you like conscious existence, this is a no-brainer because it's really a combination of the two. If you haven't noticed, there is some rendering going on. I think like in the foreground is all the rendering, and in the background is the 360 video. I think that's how he's getting this effect. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what it looks like to me. Let's go ahead and click on Starry Blankets, and I'm only going to show one other one, but I liked all 6. I think this was my second. I think this is my second favorite. Like I said, you can easily recenter. And there is narration. I'm going to be quiet as soon as it starts. And this is just, very trippy, very unique. I never experienced something like this in VR. It's this Mark Zimmerman's just very talented. He's making very unique experiences for VR. Even if you're not into mindfulness and Zen and, meditation, I still think this is valuable if you're just into artistic visuals, because this guy is that talented. But, it all comes together, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of spatial audio that, it's one of those things where you're watching a 2D video on YouTube.
From darkest night, a twinkling star emerged, brimming with delight, curious to see the world, energized, alive, pulsing
and
to the core.
I'm going to end it here because
calm, my little heart. Comes a time to explore.
Let's go home.
Here and now.
Okay. So there's actually a lot of going on. There's spatial audio. There's so many settings that I don't know that I can show all the settings. But just keep in mind, one thing that I should have mentioned is that you can change the graphics from 4K to 6K. I highly recommend you do that. You do need an HEVC extension, and I'm not sure exactly where those settings were. I thought they would be there, but I highly recommend the tutorial, though. I definitely recommend you do that. There, image and quality, I'm sorry. So, versus 4K, you click on 6K, but you do need the HEVC. You can increase super sampling. I'm leaving it at 250 because, I don't want to push it. You can turn anti-aliasing on if you... I don't think I need it. I think I see clearly, so I don't think that's needed. But there are graphical options there. There's sound settings as well, breathing sound. Look at all these different types of sounds that are in there. I wasn't sure why the mic wasn't working, though. It should work now that I turned it on. Maybe, and you can see for breathing guide, it would take forever to go through all these settings. Frequency entrainment, again, you can change. This is kind of trippy. It kind of goes faster and faster and faster. It starts off slow, and then you can change the carrier frequency. Elements to play, gaze element, controller element. There's so much stuff that I could go through. I mean, they're not like big changes, but they're little changes that when you're playing, you notice. And it makes it pretty cool. We're gonna do one more. So we showed capacity. That was the first one. Then Starry Blanket. Let's do flowing depths, and that'll be the last thing I show. But I highly recommend this if you're into conscious existence, deep states. I think you'll enjoy this one as well. It can easily recenter your view, by the way. And like I said, this is great if you're into meditation apps, if you're into artistic experiences. This guy's just very talented in making these very unique experiences for VR. It's only $14.99, so it's an easy recommendation for me. And if I have to rate it, it'll be very tough to grade. But I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. About the only criticism I would have that I can think of is that two of them are pretty similar. So let's actually go back a little bit and let me show you, because let's go to the home before we... Timeless Being and Calm Amidst the Storm, those two were pretty similar. The only difference was this one had thunderstorms and was darker, but I thought these two were pretty similar. That's my only criticism, if you can believe it. And maybe the humming thing, it seems like it goes on and off. Maybe I just don't understand how it works, though. So that's not a real criticism there, because like I said, I don't know if there isn't an issue there, or if I'm just not understanding how the humming works. I know that it doesn't, like, a lot of the stuff doesn't work until after the narration is done. So keep that in mind. But, you know, in the first one, if you can remember, I had already went past the narration when I started the video, so it should have worked when I flipped it on. I don't know if it needs to be on when you start the experience, though. So I'm not sure if that's a legitimate quibble or not. But like I was saying, I strongly recommend this app. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think I like Deep States better. That's more my type of experience, but that might just be a personal preference. And this one is definitely my favorite out of the 6. This is so trippy. It's so weird. And, you know, you would think this would be like a little bit like horror, but it's not. It's actually pretty relaxing once you let go. So at first, you know, there is a little bit of trepidation.
Every moment with the potential to consciously take in the world around you. Together,
but yeah, I really like this one. Anyways, this is going to end my Let's Play and full live review for Realms of Flow. I do recommend it, and this is my favorite one.
And every single experience leaves
and I hopefully
shapes how you
got to see everything go. You know, you can move your controller. I think I have it set to auto, so I don't even think I need to be doing anything. Yeah, I have it set to auto.
An ever-changing entity.
But like I said, there's gaze base. There's little things where you can follow with your hands. You'll notice like little lights that shoot out, and you'll hear the spatial audio for it. And just, you know, the particle effects, the different colors, different shapes, different animations, it all works. This guy is a very talented artist. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.